Hello and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is December the 28th, 2023. And that's where I'm going to start. As you know, if you've been with me, I was calling this the Year of Judy. For those that are fairly new, let me explain. My special number, everybody has their favorite number, and my number is 23. And that's mostly because my birthday's on the 23rd, but a number of other things have happened on the 23rd throughout my life. And 23 being my special number, at the very beginning of January when we came into 2023, I explained how if you follow any of the calendars at all, you'll often hear, I think this is a Chinese thing, you know, the year of the monkey or the year of the snake or the year of the fox. And I said, because this was 23, I was going to make it the Year of Judy. And I did sort of keep that in mind throughout the year and try to make this a good year in a lot of ways. And I'm very happy with how the year went, generally speaking. And I accomplished a lot. But unfortunately, here we are. A few people have commented to me about we are coming to the end of 2023, the Year of Judy. Well, even though it's going to be 2024 very soon, I hope that we can all work at trying to make every year the best year possible. But yes, it's the end of the Year of Judy. Anyhow, now what are we going to do? I'm going to start with what I am wearing. I'm wearing this cowl, I guess you would call it, and it's quite a big loose one and very, very fuzzy. I don't know the pattern. I think it's just plain double crochets. And I had this yarn that came on cardboard sort of spools. It was big and round. And I got it several years ago. I'm trying to think where I got it. It definitely was different than I thought it was when I ordered it. And it alternated between this yarn, which was nice and fuzzy, and there's a bit of some elasticity to it, and then in between it had a metallic, very, very thin metallic, and I really didn't like the way the whole thing would work up. So, and I had, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these spools, so I just every time it came to the metallic, I cut it off. Now, they weren't short little bits. They had a bit of length to them, but still, I probably cut every one of them 4 or 5 times, I'm thinking. So yes, I had a lot of ends when I was done making this, but I really liked the coziness of it. And since I was working back and forth, I think you could tell that this was worked back and forth. It pooled a bit. I could just go until whatever length I got, and that's how big my cowl was going to be, since I didn't know how far it would go. As for the metallic, I don't know whatever became of it. You think I would have made something because I like metallic, but I never did, and I don't know what I did with it. Maybe I got rid of it. Also, I am wearing a sweater that I made at some point last year, and this is a round top down, and turned out fine. I wish I had put these eyelet rows up just a wee bit higher, and like most of the sweaters I've made so far, it is still too big. I haven't quite gotten the knack of closing it off at the right place, but otherwise it's good. It has nice sleeves. They are a little bit on the tapered side. I might have done that myself. And it just goes straight down. But because it's too big up here, it is too big at the bottom too. And I didn't ever wear it because I didn't like how it fit. And then I finally decided it doesn't really matter in how it fits. It's too big. But I'll be able to use this as a template for the next top-down sweater that I do. Trying to think what I made it with. I might have made it with the Angora from Lamia, and I get that, oh, I forget the name of the company over in Europe that I get it from. But anyhow, I think that's what I made it with. It is comfortable, and it has some warmth to it, although it's a little more open than I like. But next time I would move up that yoke a bit. But I'm going to put this back on because it's a bit cool down here. So that's what I'm wearing. I don't have the pattern names for either of these, unfortunately. I like to be able to give you the pattern names, and I'm going to do a much better job at this year, and I'll explain why in a couple of minutes. Now I would go to finished objects, and I have two finished objects. One of them is not what you would expect, but I first of all have my finished object for the cowl this month. And I changed my mind from what I originally planned. I was going to make a shawl that had the Christmas yarn first, and then it was solid, then it was open with the green, and it had beads in it. And when I looked at it to get started, I thought, you know, I don't think I want to do that. I will make that shawl, but in some other colors. So I went and found another pattern, and this is called the Moon Swing Wrap. It is on Ravelry. I will link it down below, by Christy Garris. And it is an asymmetrical wrap, and it starts out here, and it gets wider, and you see that it has lace work every so often, and then it transitions into the green, and again lace work in there, and then it transitions out and back to the full width. So that's what it looks like. I wish I'd put a few rows of green in here when I was working. I thought I had my leftovers out here, but I don't see them. This first part I was using both the yarns are from EFA, Expression Fiber Arts, and this is pearlescent fingering, and the color I think is called Chocolate Cosmos or something like that. Very Christmassy. And then this is evergreen, and this is cash silk sock. So this is very silky all the way through, and a little bit more cuddly here because of the cashmere. And I'm going to put a couple of pictures just in the corner here for you to see it wrapped on the mannequin. I took a couple pictures of it. So that's what I finished for the cowl for this month, using the holly as an inspiration, and I'll probably show it to you again in our next video, which will be in a few days on January the 1st. And that will end our year of looking at the monthly flowers, the flowers of the month. So that's my first finished object. I probably finished it almost 2 weeks ago, before my hand was giving me a lot of problem, although it was starting to give me trouble towards the end. And I probably finished it a few rows sooner than I should have, but it was plenty big enough, and I'm happy with that. My other finished object is not crochet. My other finished object is I completed a diamond painting, and here is what I made, and you can see all the glitter on it. I actually had started a picture, an actual picture, and it's a black cat on a black background, a lot of black, and then this arrived, and I put the black aside. I'm still working on it. I'll maybe have it done in another couple of weeks, and I'll show you. But I decided I really wanted something smaller and more colorful, and I can set this up. Not sure yet where I'm going to set it up, but I'm really happy that I finished that. So that's my first diamond painting. this year. You remember I did a diamond painting. I thought it was in this room, but it isn't. It was on one of these boxes, you know, storage bins. I did one last year. It was a white storage bin and it had flowers on it. I did it last Christmas, so Christmas seems to be when I do it. But I'm enjoying it more than I did last year. So I think I am going to do more of them. So, something I forgot to say when I was talking about this finished object is this is for our cow, and I want to remind you today is the 28th, which I said is the deadline, but I am not going to have really have time on Friday to look at things. So you can have, if you're pushing for a deadline, you can have up until the evening of the 29th of December. That'll still give me 2 days to take care of getting the video together. So you have until tomorrow, Friday evening, to finish your submission for the cow. And remember, submissions have to be emailed to me at judyscreations21@gmail.com. It's in the description box below. I've received quite a few nice red, white, and green submissions. Some people have used one color or another color or two of the colors, but a lot of very nice Christmassy looking items. So just remember, you need to get your picture to me. All right, the first thing I want to cover today is I'm trying to decide what it is I want to do next. I'm thinking I want to talk about my yearly goals, the goals that I set last January. And every 3 months, I did an update for you on how I was progressing with those goals. So I'm going to get them out again. And now we're going to look at, did I accomplish my goals or not this year? Then I think I did pretty good at it, but you can judge. The first goal I had, and it's going to go on to next year, I'll word it a bit different, but my first goal was to learn either a new stitch or a new technique. To do something like, there was a stitch I've never conquered called Solomon's knot or lover's knot. And I also was interested in doing cables or mosaic. Well, I did do one item, actually one says it's mosaic, the other doesn't. I'm going to put pictures up here. I've made 2 different cowls, and I'll show one after the other, supposedly with mosaic in it. But they were very small, and I don't think I've really conquered mosaic. And so I'm putting this back on for next year, but we'll talk about that next week. My second goal was to use 2 or 3 EFA kits. I think I showed you that I have quite a number of their kits, and I just really wanted to use some of those kits. Well, I did make one shawl, and I'll put it up here. That's actually a shawl that I sold at the very last minute after we packed up at the craft show I was at. But it was made with, I think I took 2 skeins out of the kit and then took another skein from somewhere else. So I didn't use a complete kit. And I really didn't use any kits from EFA, but that just will roll into part of one of my other goals. So that one didn't go very far. Learn Instagram and use it more. Now, I do think I accomplished something. I did figure out how to set up a hashtag for our monthly cow, and I have been going on regularly and making posts. When I'm notified there are things, I go and see them. I'm still not sure I'm always finding what I'm supposed to find when I'm notified. I posted a story once, I don't know where to find it. So I'm still learning, but I did accomplish quite a bit on that one. The one thing I really want to know, and maybe somebody can tell me down the road, I really want to figure out how I can sell my items on Instagram. They tell me you can do very well selling on Instagram, and I can't see where you sell. And here's a question you experts can tell me. What is the difference between starting with hashtag and something or at with a name? What is the difference? I don't know that they're doing anything different. So you can explain that to me. The next goal I had was to complete 3 or more whips. Well, I was in a cowl at the beginning of last year that was all about doing whips. And I know I finished 3 and I think I finished 4. But when I went back to look for pictures, and I'm going to put a picture up here, I might even cover the whole screen so you can see them both. I did finish 3, possibly 4, and here are 2 of them. They are both ponchos, and one of them is a poncho using Karen's cotton cakes, and I think that's the one on the right, and the other is a poncho that was using Lion Brand's Comfy Cozy. So I did finish those 2, but I am positive I finished 1, maybe 2 others, and I can't find them and I don't remember what they are. But I did that, I accomplished it, enough said. My goal was to make 2 or 3 sweaters. Well, I really wanted to make more than that. I didn't do well with the sweaters, but during the summer I did make 2 summer tops. One was the Wren tee, and I have a picture of that, which I submitted to the Tanks and Tees cowl, hosted by Jackie and Lynn. And I also, again for that same cowl, I made this Summer Fan Laces top. I was not happy with either one of them. Neither one of them fit the way I like. I'm still having trouble working out getting a top or a sweater to fit the way I want it to, but enough about that. I wanted to keep up with shawls. You know, I donate shawls to, well, 2 places, but mostly to a senior's home, and I wanted to do at least 2 a month, but I never did keep up with the 2 a month, but I did do it. I did keep doing them, and I will keep doing them. We'll donate again next year. We had enough, though, between myself and 2 other friends that are helping now. We had enough for a donation at Christmas. And finally, my last item was to do at least a couple of hours per week on my cross stitch. I was hoping that maybe on the weekend I would sit down and do a couple of hours once a week. That didn't go well, but I am going to break in here with a video. First of all, I'm going to show you a picture of what I believe was the picture I took last January of where I was at the time. Now I'm going to insert a video that I took just earlier today to show you my progress. For those that haven't seen this before, this is the picture that I'm working towards finishing. And it's been on my scrolls for many years. I don't begin to know how many years. But I'm going to show you what you saw, how much was done at the end of last year. I had done this, not that green. So during the year, I did this green, and then I came down and I filled in this green, and then I come over and I did the green here. And last time you saw some of this done. I do that blue. What is blue is actually a metallic fiber. Don't know how, if you can tell, but it is metallic and it's thicker than the thread. Here it is sitting here. And I do it first because I like to count it out to where it should be, and then it's easier to work around it rather than to do the rows around it and come back and fill this in. I also like to do, like there's darker shadows in here. You can see I'm working on the darker shadows. And right now in this section, I could just take the very, very palest blue. It looks to you like it'd be white, but it's the very palest of blues. And I can just go now and fill these rows in without looking back and forth at my pattern. And that makes it easier to do if you don't have to be constantly referring to the to the pattern. And I'm going to finish a little bit of this blue metallic in here that has to be done to the border. This is, I'm just working up right now to the beginning of this shadowy area under her dress. So I'm just going to do the first couple of rows of it, and then I'm going to go back and fill all of this section in. Then I will proceed to work on a little bit, the shadow area, which is under here. I'll do that next. It's darker blues. And then I'll go back and work more on the dress. As you can see, this dress is very, very big. And partway through, I'll go back and fill in the pink up here for a break from all of this light blue. The worst part of this pattern is going to be when I finish her skirt, having to do these areas of flowers. I've already done this area. It's not enjoyable because you do 1 stitch of one color, 2 stitches of another, and you know, you're jumping all over to get the detail of the flowers. But after I do the whole skirt, I'll finish up the detail of the flowers and then go back and finish up the last pink ribbon as something easy at the very end. So there's quite a few hours in this yet. This has been on the frame for years, and I just ignored it when I started to crochet. This year, my goal, as I said, was to do a little bit every weekend, and I did a lot, but I mean, in the fall, I don't think I did anything through October and November, busy in the yard. And I am now back in a crochet, cross-stitch mood. So I've been working every day this week, and I intend to keep working throughout the holiday weeks to get as much done as I can. So at the end of the year, I'll take a photo to show you just how far I did get by year end, because there's still 3-4 more days. And for those that haven't been here before, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I'm hoping you can see that there is sparkle in this fabric. It's a sparkle fabric, and if you can see the shadows of blue, it is a hand-dyed material. And I really want to get it done and framed because my intent was to make it a partner to this one over here. Sorry. But see that one up there, the big fairy? My intention is to make it to match that and go on that side wall there. So I have quite a bit more to do yet. It is a very large, very, very large pattern, but I'm making progress, and I feel like maybe I'm close to halfway done. And if I really focus this year, I'm hoping to get to the end of the skirt and fill in this pink and be at the point by the end of the year where I maybe will be working on the flowers. So I won't finish it in 2024, but hopefully in 2025 it'll get off these scrolls. So that's my progress on my lady. All right, so I hope you enjoyed seeing the progress on my cross stitch. And I am going to set goals again for 2024, but we'll talk about that next week. I think what we need to do next is mention very quickly, again, we've had lots of comments, Gina and I, on the live we did together a couple weeks ago, actually 10 days ago now, and enough positive feedback that people said we should do another one. So I'm just going to quickly mention that Gina and I have decided to do a collaboration in the new year sometime, and we are going to get together during the holidays to discuss exactly what we're going to do and when. So hopefully by next Thursday or soon after that, we'll be telling you what our plans are. So be just listening for that information of a collaboration we are going to do together, and we will kick it off with a live. Again, it will be on Gina's channel, but that is in the plans. So I think now what I want to do is go on and announce the winners, and I have notes here somewhere. Okay. First of all, from day 11 of the Advent, actually it was day 11 of the 12 days of Christmas. That would have been 21 and 22 in the Advent calendar. And by the way, I want to thank all of you for all your comments. Everybody was very appreciative of seeing it, very complimentary of the yarn, and seemed to really enjoy doing that, and they enjoyed the way that I brought it to you. So that'll be something we will talk about in the very distant future. But day 11, the key word was pipe, and you were going to win, it's back there, I'm not going to pick it up, but it's 3 hanks of matching yarn, 150 meters each, of Noro. And here is a picture of the winner. So the winner here is Christine's Craft Table, and Christine's comment was, with a corncob pipe and a button nose. Amazing, I haven't sang that song in decades, but I could probably sing every verse. So congratulations, Christine. You need to contact me. I'll talk about that at the end. Just listen for a few more minutes. Then I picked 2 winners on the 12th day of Christmas, which was December 24th. And some of you were not listening carefully. Yes, I needed you to tell me if you knit or crochet, because I wanted to get you the right kit. I did not want to just arbitrarily send one of the 2, because I know I have some people here that only crochet, and I have some people that only knit. And I didn't want to arbitrarily send you a knit kit and you don't knit. So you had to say the magic word for the day, just like all the other 12 days, and the magic word was drummers. Then I went and looked to see, I did the random comment picker for knit and crochet, but once I got the name, I went and looked to make sure you used the magic word. And unfortunately, some people might have won if they'd used the magic word, and they didn't. And I'm really sorry about that, but that's how it worked. So the first kit was the knit kit, and the winner is, here's the screen, Lillian. It's Lillian ED 7597, and she said that she hoped the drummers are not too loud. Merry Christmas. So that Lillian is the winner of the knit kit. I know she lives in Ontario, up towards Ottawa. And then finally we have the crochet kit, and get my screen out here, and here it is across there, Carol Archinal 6082. So Carol, and she said it's not very clear. The drummers on the Christmas parade were all wearing sparkly crocheted scarves. So Carol is a winner of the crochet package. Now, what I need from you 3 ladies is for you to email me. Again, my email address is in the box below. Email me and give me your complete mailing address. Let me know where I should send it to, and it will probably go out in the mail one day next week, whatever day it is that I go out. I'm not sure. I don't have anything I have to do next week other than get groceries. So when I get groceries, I will mail these parcels to you. But you need to contact me before that with your complete mailing address. So once again, congratulations to Christine, Lillian, and Carol. So next, I had an acquisition I was going to show you, but today in the mail, I got some happy mail, and I thought I would show you that instead. So just hang on while I get this yarn. I got a package from Gina, and Gina did say she was sending me something, and I thought it might be a skein of yarn, but it wasn't one skein. It was 3 skeins. And she says in her card, I'm sorry, I left the card upstairs. I just remembered to bring this down. She said, I hope this is purple enough for you. And she wanted to share yarn with me from her favorite U.S. dyer. Well, I am very familiar with Miss Babs. I have, in the past, back when exchange was better, I have once or twice ordered from Miss Babs. That's how I got those tiny little skeins that she sends with it. But this yarn, it's called Purple Joy. This yarn is 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon. Has 400 yards in it. This is so nice. I mean, cashmere. Oh, I love cashmere. And yes, it has some pink in it as well. But you know what? That's not a problem. I absolutely love this one. Is more purpley than the other two. It has a lot more purple and a lot of the dark speckles in it. But my goodness, Gina, you went overboard. 3 skeins of yarn, cashmere yarn. Just a minute, I need a drink. I can't thank you enough. This is absolutely beautiful. I have such good friends between getting all this yarn in the mail today and a week ago getting this beautiful sign for my videos, for my business. I am truly blessed with friends. And Gina, I will be getting a pattern soon. I think I have 1 or 2 potential patterns from EFA, and I will do one of those patterns that I hope can use all of it. But if it can't use all of it, if it uses 2, the other one I will make one of my CJ Brady patterns or something. But this is beautiful, and it was certainly unnecessary, and I do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And by the way, you hear me mention EFA or Expression Fiber Arts a lot. Even if you never buy their yarn, because I know they are a luxury yarn and not everybody can buy luxury yarn, you should be on their mailing list for 2 reasons. Once a month, they do a massive giveaway, and that giveaway can have anywhere between 25 and 35 skeins of their yarn, depends how what mood they're in, and she usually has her husband go through the shop and pick up the yarn. This last month I think it had 37 yards of skeins of yarn. That's one reason. But the other reason is every single Friday, except they didn't in the holidays, every single Friday they have a free pattern, and they try to alternate between crochet one week and knit the next week. Now, they come out with more knitted patterns than crochet. Often you'll get 2 in a row with knit. They try to keep it even, but they don't. If you check their site, they have about 50% more knitted patterns than crochet. But they're free for a week or 2. You can get them free, and they have some absolutely beautiful patterns. yes, the call for their yarn, but you can use whatever yarn you want. And that's a way to get some real quality patterns, some really nice patterns for free. So I advise all of you, I know I have a lot of new followers that maybe aren't familiar with that, so I did want to mention it to you. So thank you, Gina. Thank you, Cindy. I already had a great Christmas from the two of you. I didn't need to buy myself any Christmas presents, but I did. I think I mentioned to you before Christmas that I was going to get myself a couple of Christmas presents, and I wanted to show you one last week and one this week, but I ran out of time last week, so I'm going to show them both to you, and one has a backstory. So the first item that I got for myself, maybe a month ago, I showed you a wool genie, and I love the wool genie. It is plastic, nothing wrong with that, but potentially can break. And I really liked it, and people told me you know you can order extra spindles, and I looked at it and I thought by the time I pay shipping, you know, you could buy a whole new one. But then I happened to come across another wool genie, and it was wooden, and I really liked it, and I thought this is sitting in my living room, and I think I want this instead. So here's the wool genie. It comes with 2 spindles, and it just sits here when you're not using it. You can put your I don't have any balls of yarn that are the right kind of ball to put on this at the moment. But when you're using a ball that does not have a good center pull, or donuts, you know, donuts are one of those hard things. I never know whether you use outside or the inside. Well, you put it on here, and then it goes up, and it spins. It spins while you are pulling the yarn off. I absolutely love the wool genie, and I did want a second spindle for when you're working on, you know, maybe on 2 yarns in a project. But when I saw the wooden ones, I decided, you know what, I may give away the plastic one, or I may make it, I may sell it. I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet, but I really wanted this wooden one because it's sitting on my table beside my chair in the living room, and I have all wood in my living room. And so this was the first gift I got myself for Christmas, and I'm quite happy with it. Haven't used it yet because, as you know, I haven't been crocheting for the last 4 days. I haven't really crocheted at all except a row or 2, but my hand is doing a lot better, and I will get back to it maybe even tonight. The other thing I decided to get myself, and I have wanted this for a long time, and it's a special kind of ball winder, and I'm going to put a picture of one in here. I'll put it across the screen. And I have seen these in various places. I've seen different creators that got one, and I was reminded again when I think it was Gary at Urban Yarn that opened one, and I said, you know what, I think I've wanted this for a long while, and when I first looked at them, they were upwards to $200, $189, and I just put it off because of the cost. I mean, my other one was working fine. I couldn't justify paying a couple $100 for another one. But I decided I wanted the one I showed you on the screen. I thought it was nice. It would sit in my kitchen again. It's wooden, and I really, really liked it. So I went on Amazon and looked at them, and the prices had come down. They were like $80 or $90. I said, oh, well, that's good. I'm going to order one. And I ordered one. 2 days later, I saw Olga Poltava, I think that's how you say it, and she did a demonstration of an electronic ball winder. And it was about the same price, and I thought, oh, that's even better. Electronic, it winds faster. You don't have to do this, and you know how doing this over time, just adding to my hand and wrist problem. So and it was available on Amazon, so I ordered it. The wooden one came first. I just left it sitting there. I wanted to see about this electronic one. Now I'm going to put a picture just up here in the corner of the electronic one. And I watched her demonstrate it, and it worked as smooth as could be. But the yarn comes off of the spindle, like on any cake winder, through a coil, and then it goes down the side where it has a spring-loaded cone that snaps to, and the yarn goes through it, and then it comes off your Swift. And she did it, and it worked slick as could be. Well, I did it, and within 2 winds, that spring-loaded part lets the yarn out. It doesn't hold it tight. I went back and I fiddled with it to see if I had to adjust it, and it wouldn't hold it tight, and it wouldn't hold it tight. And as soon as it lets go, then you have the yarn going all over. There's no pressure, no strain at all to hold it tight, and the cake was going really weird. Well, I went back and tried again, and I held the yarn, and it was doing this. Meanwhile, I had part of the cake on the cone here and part of the cake on the cone here. I had a mess. I had a real mess. Didn't matter how many times I tried it. That spring-loaded piece did not hold my yarn. It took me, I don't know, 45 minutes or more to very slowly unwind everything that had been caked in a mess and put it back on the Swift. And I decided, I don't need to play with this. I don't need it that bad. I'll send it back. So I sent it back. And I said, well, that's okay. I have this nice wooden one. I've always wanted it anyway. I'm going to use it. So I open it up, and there's all these pieces that have to be set on the bottom frame, I guess you might call it. No diagrams, no explanation. I went back to the site and no video. But I went to another one. They had lots of them, and I watched a video. But basically, you look at the picture and know where everything goes. So I'm putting everything on, and I get to the last 2 pieces, and there is a bit of a cone that turns, and it drives the part, the wooden part that has the shank you put your ball on. Well, if I put one piece on, I couldn't put the other. If I put that piece on, I couldn't put the first one. Neither one would go on. One was wood, one was metal, and they were forcing each other, and I couldn't get either one. I couldn't get both pieces on. I could only get one or the other, and it has to do with the size of the circle. And I don't know. I looked at it a bunch of times, tried to put them on at the same time, didn't work. It's like something isn't sitting in the right place. Maybe mine was wrong, made wrong. I don't know. But both pieces would not fit on this thing. Then I left one piece off, and I did the cranking. You still have to crank it. Was it stiff and tight? Whoever, I think it was Gary. Gary, I'd like to know, how did you find your, it might not have been you, Gary, but I thought you got one from Knit Picks. Anyhow, I'd like to know, because it seemed to me like it was going to take a lot of effort to crank this thing to cake your yarn. And I looked at it and I said, you know what? The one I got works perfectly fine. I don't need either one of these. And I sent that one back as well. And decided there was something else I wanted to get myself that I would make more use of and enjoy. So, I don't know if you remember, but I showed you this project bag that I got with my Polka Dot Creek Advent order. And I actually have yarn in it that you saw me open it last time. I'm going to make a sweater. But anyway, I really, really like this bag. And I thought, you know what? I will get more use out of a couple of really nice project bags. So that's what I'm going to do. That's going to be my Christmas present to me. For, you know, the price of those other things, I could get some project bags. So, and she's a Canadian maker. She is on Etsy. So I decided, let me get them both out. I decided to get myself 2 project bags, a big one like the one I just showed you and a smaller one. So here is the big one. I like colorful, as you know, and it has one of my whips in there, and there's the lining. So I'm really happy. This is the bigger bag. I really like this, and I will put her name down below. It's So Shannon on Etsy. And then I ordered a small one, and I think she actually calls it a cosmetic case, but it's big enough for one of my one skein. Actually, I can fit 2 cakes in there. See the nice lining? I have 2 cakes in there, but it's nice for a one skein project that I work on. And there is my second one. So that's my Christmas present to myself. I got myself 2 project bags that I will definitely make use of. So including the one from Polka Dot, I got 3 new project bags, and I'm looking into more. I really like them. I use a lot of project bags because I put the yarn for every single month of the cowl in a project bag and store it until the time we need it. So that was a long story to tell you about my Christmas present, but that's how it came to be. So we're at the end of our time for today. I don't know how long this has been because I broke it up into pieces. Next week will be the beginning of a new year, but I will see you before that. I will see you Monday, January the 1st, with our slideshow for December. A lot of very nice projects. And we start the year of the tropical birds. Are you ready to see? The first picture will blow your mind. I know it will. But anyhow, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And I hear a lot of you are looking forward to doing the tropical birds as well. So that's on Monday. And then next week, Thursday, we settle back into our routine. And I'm going to talk about my goals for the year. I have that acquisition that I didn't show you today. I'll have that. And I'm going to talk to you about some subscription programs. I did some looking and found some things I want to share with you about that. So that's what's in the plans, what's in the works for next week. And I'm wishing all of you a very happy new year. And I don't know if you're going out or not. I don't know what you're doing to celebrate the new year. But whatever it is you do, please be safe. Be safe, not only for yourself, but if you're traveling, for anybody else that's out on the road. So until next week, happy hooking.